From the outside, you have it all together. But behind the scenes, girl, you're frustrated and tired of settling for the wrong man over and over again. But let's be real, girl, you're bold, you're independent, and you're typically the woman who people come to with their own problems. But if we're being honest, there are things that you wish somebody would have told you to help you find direction and overcome obstacles. You sound like if you feel uncertain about what comes next and how to date with confidence. You may say to yourself, I should be in a relationship right now. I should be able to figure it out on my own. You say to yourself, I feel like I have to deal with it by myself and I'll just handle it. But at the same time, in those quiet moments, you talk to your friends, but they have great advice, or either they're facing similar situations and struggles themselves. You watch videos, you search for advice on TikTok, you pray for a sign, and overanalyze every possible outcome. You're not incapable of making decisions, but you're looking for the cheat code while avoiding more disappointment and more frustration. Girl, having support doesn't make you weak. Let me say that again. Having support doesn't make you weak. It may be the very thing that keeps you from losing another year in the wrong relationship. Hi, my name is Kristen, and for more than 8 years, I've walked alongside women as they navigate faith, relationships, disappointment, and some of life's biggest decisions. But, but, before I became a relationship coach, I needed direction myself. When I was 23 years old, I was a party girl, searching for love in all the wrong places and making a lot of impulsive decisions and not considering how it would affect my own future. I was emotionally and mentally tired of trying to figure it out on my own. That's when I attended a young adults group, and that's where I met Christina. She took the time to get to know me and met me exactly where I was. She gave me advice and some direction, but she showed me that simply showing up was enough. Christina showed me through action and honesty that I could develop trust with her. When you have the right support, life begins to transform. As my relationships grew, my ideas about faith and God began to change as I was an atheist for 13 years and never thought in my life that that would change. However, once I experienced real love from people, it made me reconsider my own beliefs. Accepting love and accountability, it wasn't easy for me at first. But she taught me that those who genuinely care don't see helping as a burden. This connection completely rerouted my entire life. The right people can kickstart your life's transformation. And I'm not the only woman who has experienced this kind of transformation. Let me introduce you to two beautiful ladies. So, welcome and meet Nisha. So, when she came to me, she was feeling insecure, frustrated with mistakes that she kept making. And after our work together, she was able to manage life's obstacles, handle conflict, and build confidence in who she was as an adult. Sometimes it's hard to reach out for help, but let me introduce you to another young lady. Meet Octavia. She was struggling with self doubt and rejection due to a lot of family dynamics and kept entering into the wrong relationships with men. She found hope and healing from the wounds that had been shaping her choices for years. She began to live from a place of confidence and self respect and purpose. They learned how to understand their own patterns, to make healthier decisions, to strengthen their faith, and move forward with greater confidence and peace. So, we do not need to have the whole journey figured out to take the next step of faith. When you take your first step forward, we will be doing it together. When we work together, we will explore the direction method, a coaching strategy designed to not only alter your habits, but to create long lasting change from the inside out. When we often allow our experiences and our mistakes and people to define who we are, we will rediscover our identity from God's point of view. Then, second step is recognizing patterns. Our patterns tell the story of our results. We often long for something greater, yet honestly remain uncertain about the path that leads to the greater. We will renew our mind and restore our soul to create new and lasting change. And the last direction method step is rebuilding trust. Unfortunately, trust can be quickly broken in relationships, and I know that we all experience that. But once fractured, it begins to reshape the way that we see others and ourselves. Trust can be restored, though, through consistent actions, honest conversations, and the courage to be vulnerable again. From time to time, our path crosses with someone who has already walked the road that we're hoping to travel one day. And pay attention here. Their experiences and insight can shorten your learning curve and strengthen your own journey. Now, you may be thinking, this sounds helpful, this is great, but I'm not sure that I can even afford this. And I understand. I really do. Because investing in yourself can feel uncomfortable, especially when you're used to putting everyone else's needs before your own. What would it look like 5 years from now if you do not receive help? How much time and energy have you poured into relationships that left you confused and honestly frustrated to your core? But was it worth it to struggle alone for this long? What would the cost of staying the same look like in the future? You may also be thinking, I don't have enough time for this. I have a busy life. But listen, this coaching was created for women with real lives, with jobs, with families, and major responsibilities. So you do not need intentional time. You need intentional time to reflect, to make decisions, and follow through on the steps that matter the most. Maybe you're thinking, all right, Kristen, I've heard it all. I've trusted people before and they disappointed me. That fear is completely understandable because I recognize that. This is why the first step is a simple conversation. You'll have the opportunity to ask the questions, understand my approach, and decide whether I'm someone that you feel safe with or not. Now, you may also wonder, what if I'm still trying to figure out my spiritual walk or believe in God, but don't always know how to build that relationship? You do not need to have a perfect relationship with God. You don't need to know the Bible from front to back. You simply need to be open to exploring your faith honestly and asking the hard questions. So, what if I invest and I still make the wrong decisions? Now, look, girl, I cannot promise that you'll never face uncertainty again. But what I can promise is to help you build discernment, confidence, and practical tools that will make you make wiser decisions. My goal isn't to make decisions for you, it's to help you become the woman who can confidently make them on her own. You can continue trying to figure everything out on your own. You can keep watching the videos and asking friends and overthinking every outcome. Or you can allow someone to walk beside you, someone who will help listen without any judgment, to tell you the truth in love, and to help you take action where fear tries to keep you stuck again. So, during this private conversation, we'll discuss where you currently feel stuck, the relationships, what you want your next season to look like, and whether the direction method is the right fit for you. There is no pressure and no obligation to enroll. Click the link and button below to complete the application and select an available time. You don't need to have your whole life figured out from here. You don't need to have perfect faith. And you don't need to pretend that everything is fine. You simply need to be honest about where you are, what you're working towards, and willing to take your next step to invest in you. Click below to apply for your complimentary direction call, and I'm honored to walk alongside of you. Thank you.